Well, hello there, farming fans. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. I appreciate you stopping back for another video. What's that? You don't recognize this. Well, this is not on Goldcrest. This is a brand new map for Farming Sim 17, and this is sort of new approach for me. As a matter of fact, if you want to kind of know more about what I'm talking about with regards to a new approach to virtual farming, please check out my blog site. You'll find the link down below the video, or you can go to grizzlybearsims.com and read about that. And basically, where we are today is we are in the Netherlands. We're in North Brabant. It is a popular Farming Sim 15 map that has been converted over to Farming Sim 17, and we're doing things just a little bit different with this map. First of all, let me just I'm not going to give you a map tour because I'm not very good at that, and so here's the, actually let me pull up this view because it's a little bit nicer to see. So this is the way the map is shaped up, and all the fields that you see that we own, that is the way it's set up by default when you first load the map. Um, the only thing that we've done is we have heavily modified our starting equipment. We've pretty much pre-purchased everything that we think that we're going to need, and also we've also pre-purchased or set up our animal as well, our animals. We have 100 sheep, 100 cows, and 50 pigs. And we have worked pretty hard over the last few hours to get them to a point to where that they are at 100% productivity. And as you can tell, we are in day one, and it is just after 12 noon local time here in North Brabant. So again, I point you to my blog post because that blog post is going to kind of summarize everything that I'm going to share with you over the next 45 minutes or an hour or so for this video. And it's going to kind of explain to you the new approach that I'm trying out with regards to virtual farming. So essentially, we are in day one, and the way I'm using a couple of mods, and again, the blog post is going to kind of better help you understand everything that I'm talking about. We're just going to tab down here to our tractor while I'm talking and just make sure that this guy finished his job here. And it looks like he almost did. Just do that, and then we'll spin around here and see. Yeah, we need to head back down this direction with the sprayer. Turn that on. So essentially, I'm using a few mods. The first mod that will obviously assist me with this new approach to virtual farming is the growth manager mod. And the growth manager mod essentially changes the functionality of the Farming Sim 17 growth system so that the growth cycle occurs at nighttime, and it's basically one growth stage per day. So if I understand everything correctly with regards to how the growth cycles and everything are set up and how the growth manager mod handles that, is we're going to be looking at one farm sim day. So again, we're in day one, as you can see in the upper right hand corner, is equal to approximately 1 month in real life time. So what we're going to do is we are going to attempt to do seasonal farming. Yep, that's right, seasonal farming. Now, if you are familiar with, and let me just take a look here because this is field number 8. I need to move to field 6, which has already been sprayed, so I think that field number 9 needs to be fertilized. So we will start our worker fertilizing field number 9, which is just to the right of us here, and then I'll finish explaining to you what I was talking about. So this field is fairly square, so I think what we'll do is we'll let this guy go like this. Let me unfold him, get him into position. So yeah, so essentially, if you think about each game day being the equivalent of about a month, so obviously, if you plant a crop such as wheat, you can pretty much factor and count on that wheat crop being ready in 3 to 4 days with the growth manager. So 3 to 4 months. And I've not taken the time to necessarily test it by planting something and then fast forwarding. We're going to try to figure this out as we go along. But so yeah, so that's sort of how things are going to work. So we're going to do seasonal planting, and what I mean by that is we are essentially, and this is really a pretty heavily manual process on my part, because unfortunately Farming Sim 17, 15, whatever, doesn't really take into account the fact that if you want to do seasonal farming and you want to plant a crop that maybe in real life, like for example a winter wheat crop that you would plant in say the October time frame, that it's going to take about twice as long. Let's see if he can handle that ditch. We may have to give him a I think he did all right. Anyway, if you're going to plant a crop like winter wheat, for example, that takes twice as long to grow as, say, a spring planted wheat crop, that you're going to run into issues with. Withering. Well, I have withering turned off. So again, if we plant a crop like winter wheat, for example, that we want it to take about 6 months for that to mature, we're going to plant the field, we're going to call that winter wheat, and we're just going to ignore it until it comes around to the appropriate game day. Again, we're in game day number 1, until we come around to the appropriate day, and then at that point we will say, well, it is June, and we planted winter wheat in October, and it's going to be ready to harvest. So a little bit of a manual process, as I said. So again, day 1, game day 1, we are sort of replicating the month of April. So it is springtime here in North Brabant. Now, another piece of information that I'll throw out there is that I did some research on the internet, found several sites, mostly state-run sites here in the United States, regarding when typical crops are planted, when they're planted, and when they're typically harvested. Now, obviously, this is taking place in Europe. The information that I'm going with is not specific to any region. It's not specific to the Netherlands. It's not specific to anywhere in Europe. It's not even necessarily specific to anywhere in the United States. It's a little bit of a hodgepodge of data that I was able to ascertain from looking at agricultural departments from, say, the state of Texas, the state of Colorado, which is where I live, state of Oklahoma, etc. And so that's kind of what we're going with. Again, if you're from the Netherlands and I'm planting wheat in April, and you're saying, oh my God, we don't plant wheat in April in the Netherlands, just go with it, because the game itself doesn't help us achieve anything different. And again, we're just sort of using a pinpoint in time. Day 1 is April. Day 2 is going to be what comes after April, May, and day 3 will be June, etc. So this is April. We are planting a combination of spring wheat. We're going to do some spring barley, and we're going to do sugar beets as well for April. The expectation is that our wheat crops will be ready to harvest around July, so that would be around game day number 4. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna see how this works. As I was showing you the map earlier, we own quite a few fields. All the fields that are in green we own. The rest of these fields we do not own yet. Our goal is not going to be to see how much money we make at the end of our virtual farming experience. That's not necessarily the point. The point here is, are we capable of sort of using this model, this new approach to virtual farming? Are we capable of using that to produce an income that will sustain us? And also, will we be capable of stockpiling enough things such as straw, hay, silage, etc., to last through the winter months? Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Jerry, what are you going to do in the wintertime? Well, there's a lot of things that need to be done in the wintertime around a farm. One of those being obviously tending to our animals. We have 100 cows, 100 sheep, and 50 pigs at this particular point in time. So those require constant work. So every day we will be working with the animals, sometimes twice a day. So obviously those will need to be still taken care of through the winter, late fall and winter months. The other thing is that we will utilize that time to set up greenhouses and continue to keep income coming in. Obviously, with 100 dairy cows, our income from milk, pending that we keep those productive at 100%, our income from those cows will be quite significant. And of course, we will be growing crops both for the purpose of selling as well as sustaining our animals. So we're going to just kind of tab over and get in this guy here. And again, I have sort of pre-purchased the equipment, things that I think that we're going to need, things that I want, to be quite honest. I enjoy playing with the type of equipment that I want to play with and farm with, and so that's kind of what we're doing. So here we're just obviously cultivating this field to get it ready to take seeds. I believe we're going to plant in this field number 8, I believe we're going to plant sugar beets in this field because we don't need a lot of them, or at least I don't think we're going to need a lot of them. The main purpose of sugar beets obviously will be for, I just messed up. I meant to put another row in there. The purpose of sugar beets obviously will be for our pigs, so we don't need a whole lot. We're not planning on purchasing the big harvesting equipment. We'll get something that is much smaller for the sugar beets. As a matter of fact, I've already purchased it. I think I've already purchased, again, everything that I think that we're going to need for our little empire. And let me just go down this direction, and we will cut a row down here. Let me fold this guy up. And so obviously we're playing in slow mode, real-time mode, because we need to accomplish a lot each and every day, because again it's representing an entire month. And something that I have learned is, you may know that I've talked about this before in Goldcrest, how well the AI respond to trees and shrubs and bushes and all that kind of stuff. Well, here in North Brabant, the North Brabant map, they don't do too well, as a matter of fact. And I don't know, what I don't know is whether or not their behavior with how well they respond to trees and other obstacles in Goldcrest Valley is because the AI have been programmed to know exactly where these are and how to respond when they reach a certain point on the field, or something on the map itself is set up differently. I don't know, but they certainly don't have, unfortunately, they don't have the same behavior here on North Brabant that they have on Goldcrest Valley. And I haven't really played Sosnovka on 17 long enough to know if how well they react to trees and stuff there, but assuming that it's probably the same as they're doing on Goldcrest Valley, which is, as I said, okay. But here they will run into trees. If there's a tree or if there's a shrub, then the AI will certainly wrap their tractor and wrap anything else around that tree, around that sign, around that bush, whatever the case may be. This map is somewhat unique in the sense that some things are have collisions on them, some things do not, and yeah. So we'll just do the best that we can to work around these limitations, and so we will hire a guy to start this. Now we are going to make every effort to try to avoid paying as much salary as we can, because clearly our money is rather limited right now, simply because we don't have the map. When you start the map up, you own all these fields, but there's nothing planted on these fields, so you have no source of income initially. So we have to basically work our tail ends off to accomplish that. Now, so let me talk a little bit about how I set things up as far as the map is concerned, with regards to money and equipment. As I said, I've pre-purchased, I think, everything that we're going to need. We have a pretty large fleet of equipment. I think that will be suitable for this map. It certainly will be a lot of fun for me, and hopefully will be interesting for you. I also went through sort of the trouble to purchase things like pig food, because obviously we don't have any crops yet to feed to the pigs. I also purchased enough straw to basically, I think, take care of our needs until our wheat and barley crops come in, and we can obviously collect the straw from that and bale that. So some things I've done. I've paid off all of the debt, all the loan, and so we do have $200,000 credit line that we can obtain from the bank should we need it, to help us with things like fertilizer, seeds, fuel, etc. over the next couple of months, because essentially we have the only source of income that we have will be our monthly or our daily, at the end of the day, our milk, sale of milk from 100 cows should be pretty good, and also wool from our sheep. Okay, so let me see how, and it looks like we've got a woman working for us right now, so that's cool, and I think she's going to do just fine navigating this. And so I will sort of tab to, I think I've got this guy here. I've got a bit of old equipment and some new equipment, trying to mix things up just a little bit. And let me see where I happen to be located. And we're going to come out over here. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to having a little bit more of a purpose-driven to our farming. I'm hoping, anyway. Sorry about the erratic head movement there. I do have track IR on tonight. So yeah, so sort of looking forward to some purpose farming, if that's even such a thing. All right, let me see what we were going to plant here. I may have to actually, I think I just messed up. I think I was going to plant sugar beets here, and I'm pretty sure that this will not do, this is not going to do sugar beets. I don't think soybeans. Nope, we're going to have to go back and get our sugar beet seeder. Not a problem. I hope you'll come along with me. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. We'll turn on our beacons as we do try very hard to simulate as realistic as possible. And that's all part of what this exercise is really all about. It is trying to do something other than your typical plant a crop, fertilize the crop, harvest the crop, cultivate, plant, fertilize, rinse and repeat, etc., etc., etc. So it's really trying to take a more realistic approach to things as much as the game will allow us to do. Now, if you are familiar with cattle and crops, then you know that cattle and crops is going to incorporate seasons within its gameplay. And how all that's going to work, I don't know. I've certainly seen some of the gameplay video regarding seasons. It looks pretty darn cool to me, something I'm excited about, and so that's going to be quite interesting. So this is, I'm not going to do a map tour, but I will sort of just point out things to you as we kind of come across them. This is obviously our main yard, and I'm just going to drop this here because we're going to need to grab this seeder once more. And let's see, this should be our sugar beet machine right here. And I can't back up any better in the Netherlands than I can in the USA, so bear with me. Sugar beets, and this will also fertilize at the same time. So cattle and crops, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't think really anybody 100% knows right now, but all I know is most everyone that I've talked to is certainly excited about the fact that we are finally going to have some seasonal type gameplay, something that will challenge you just a little bit. Now I don't know what seasons it'll be based on. I don't know, we'll have to just find all that out together at a later time. But before I finish talking about cattle and crops, I just want to remind you all, as I pointed out in the last Goldcrest video that actually released on Wednesday the 16th of November, don't forget, if you're not a member of PCSG, go sign up, because you're going to want to do that, because we're doing a heck of a giveaway. You sign up for the giveaway in the month of December just by simply posting a note in a forum thread, and then on July 1st or thereabouts, we will pick 3 names at random, and those 3 names will win cattle and crops. Okay, so let me just unfold this guy for just a second, and I'm going to tab down to this other guy because he thinks he is done, but he is actually not done. He's far from it, so we'll just probably finish this out for him, because I think if we tried to hire a worker, he'd probably just go a few feet and stop again. And I don't know if that's, I've seen some of these anomalies with Goldcrest. This could be something to do with North Brabant. I think very much that this map is a work in progress, just only because A, it's version 1.0, B, there's still quite a bit of, if you do a drive around, which obviously we're not going to do, but I may show you some things as we visit different portions of the map. There's still some sort of some FS15, some Farm Sim 15-esque type, come on, still some FS15 type stuff that still is on the map that I think that will probably go away maybe in a future release version or whatever. So let's just finish this cultivation out here so we can get full use of this field. But anyway, go over to PCSG. That's pc-sg.uk. The link is down below and underneath the video. And register for an account. That's all you need to do right now. And then come December 1st, go out and reply to that forum thread that'll get posted, and that will just express your interest in the drawing. And then I will be doing the drawing. I will be doing the drawing sometime after midnight on December 31st. So basically January 1st, sometime during that time. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I want to get this guy started cultivating this field here, number 9. All right, and maybe he will do okay with that. So let's see. Let me turn off those strobes, and then start seeding. Looks like you missed a little bit of a spot there. Not a problem. We'll make it a little bit easier here. You know, like you, I am anxiously waiting course play. Not that I don't mind doing some of this work myself. I don't mind seeding and cultivating and such, but with course play it's a lot easier to set these guys up on courses and have them sort of do their thing, and you know, they do a lot better than the AI. It's still not perfect, but still not perfect, but anyway. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Haven't heard much news from Cattle and Crops since they released the information on, well, that's actually a lie. They posted something on their YouTube channel, just I think on Monday, I think it was, about some kind of Cropmaster 3000 apparatus that sort of looks like a fancy fax machine, or a looks like that guy is stuck, so let me come to his rescue. Just as soon as I put this in here like this. See, some of these things are not collidable and others are. You just kind of have to know what the deal is. I'll do this, come around here and turn. Let me talk a little bit about this map. It's not the most ideal map. It's probably not going to be a map that I'm going to farm on for a long period of time. I say that only because it's still not my ideal kind of map. I'm still not happy with the fact that the animals are scattered all over the place. We can just kind of pull up the map here. You see that the cows are just under field 5, which is right next to the main farm. The pigs are sort of right under us in field 9, and the chickens are way over there by field number 33. Actually, I've not even been over there to take a look at the chickens. We'll mosey over there once a day or so just to collect eggs and be done with it. But so let me go take care of this guy over here, because he obviously is having some struggles with his job. And what we'll do, if we can get out of this predicament, is we will just help him out. We'll just do this for a little while. Let me move the camera angle. So yeah, so the situation with the map itself is that it's not ideal, because its animals are sort of every which way, and the other somewhat challenge is I don't think I set the sprayer up to spray that field. He just went and did it all by himself. Now that's initiative. That is initiative for you. Actually, I've seen that as an issue. These fields are so close together that I think the AI has a issue seeing the difference between field number 9 versus field number 10. It thinks it's just one big field, which is okay, because we are going to want to obviously plant that anyway. So it's not a big deal. So there's that issue. The issue with the animals. I like my maps. What I like, and this is actually, to be honest with you, this is what's driving me crazy about the default Goldcrest Valley map. It's the fact that animals are spread out all over the place. You've got the pigs, which aren't too bad. That's not too big of a trip over across the mountain there. You've got the chickens, which are right next to the farmhouse. That's fine. Sheep aren't that far away, but still. And then you got the cows all the way across town. I like to kind of have everything situated nicely, because that's sort of how I know about farming. That's what I remember, growing up, living in the country, in rural Texas. That's kind of how I associate things. So. And I know that it's not, before anyone says, well, but it's like that where I live. Yeah, I'm sure there's some situations where you've got some farmers that sort of live in a different area from where some of their animals are. But I think that, as a whole, I think it's somewhat limited. But I just like having everything nearby, because it makes it a whole lot easier for not only for managing the animals, but it makes it easier for supplies. So all of your straw and your hay and your grass and everything else, when everything is kind of nice and nice and neat and together, it's just better that way. So I think with regards to that, I don't really see myself farming North Brabant very long, at least long enough to, test this theory of mine, this new concept, new approach to virtual farming. We'll do it at least long enough for that. There are some really cool new maps coming out that's currently in development for Farming Sim 17. I really like, something, I'll be completely honest with you. I stayed away from European or English type maps for a long time in 15. Not necessarily, I wasn't afraid of them. It's just that I sort of thought, well, the misshapen, odd shaped fields, whatever, are just something that, I don't know if I can really deal with those, the narrow roads, etc., etc. All excuses, right? I tell you what, I played Coldborough Park, and I played Smokedown Farm, and basically I love it. Alright, so he should be good to go. Let's just bounce over here and see what he's doing. Yeah, the fences are not collidable. So I think this is part of the reason why they jump fields. He should come up here and then stop, I believe. Let's just see how this guy's doing, make sure he's working out all right. And he is. Let's see, he's not either. He wants to stop. Because I went a bit too far, and he's detecting that has already been seeded, but yet he still has this pass to do. Okay. Follow this guy up. And we'll get him back a little bit closer to the farm. Anyway, these British maps, there's several that are very close. They're in varying levels of testing and development. One of which I've seen already on YouTube that looks pretty good. I think it's actually a port over from 15. But there's one in particular, I can't think of the name of it right now, but I'm really looking forward to taking a play at that, and we'll most likely make a YouTube series out of it. Both Coldborough Park Farm as well as Smokedown were such a joy to play, and they're not yet available for 17. I don't know if they will ever be available for 17. Smokedown Farm is available through PCSG, so if you're still playing 15, you can get Smokedown on PCSG. So you're going to want to register for an account there anyway for the giveaway, as I've been talking about. And we'll just leave this guy right over here because he's going to be used later today again. And this guy's almost done. Lots of grass on this map, so there won't be any need to have to sacrifice precious fields for grass. He thinks he's done. He's not. right, got you back here. I made a bit of a snafu, of a mistake. I drove us all the way back to the farm to swap out seeders, and then I realized that, well, I wanted to do this in corn, and so that's what we have here. So we've got maybe about 15 minutes or so left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that guy finish cultivating, and then we're going to go over here and get hooked up to this mower, and we're going to go cut a bit of grass, sort of, well, not necessarily quickly. We'll take whatever amount of time it's going to take to do it, but obviously we need to do some more grass. I cut grass earlier in this game day, just to sort of kickstart our dairy cows. So I wrapped some in silage, and I need to pull up my map here because I need to figure out what grass field we're going to do first. So I think we're going to see what 28 looks like. Now here's the issue, and here's why I still think that this is slightly a work in progress, is because actually 28 it shows as grass, but there is nothing planted there. Right? Is that 28? No, that's 27. 28 is in grass. But here's the deal. I can't find a way to get in here. Oh, okay. Maybe there's an opening right here. Okay, well, I did not see that earlier today, and I swore up and down that there was fencing all the way around this field, and wasn't really upset about it, but still I just sort of thought, okay, well, how's that going to work? But not a problem. All right, so let's unfold, and let's unfold lower, and go ahead and turn that guy on, go back here, lower, turn that guy on. Do a little mowing. You know how much I like to mow. No, really I do. It sort of reminds me, I've told this story before, and thankfully the fences are not collidable, but I'll try to maintain the level of realism and not mow through them. But I think I've told this story before, either on Goldcrest or on Paradise Hills, about how, mowing in Farm Sim sort of reminds me of my younger days of mowing grass, supporting myself through summer activities, things like that. Saving up for various things such as cameras and Sony Walkmans and etc., etc. That'll be interesting how we get the thinking about that, because I'm not sure how we're going to get the rake through there. Looks like somebody's been out doing donuts in the field. But yeah, lots of grass on this map, which obviously is a good thing, because we'll want to do lots of grass. We've got lots of sheep. We have cows, 100 sheep, 100 cows, 50 pigs. I opted to get fewer pigs than sheep and cows only because the pigs reproduce much quicker. But something I noticed is when you have 100 cows, the reproduction rate is much quicker than when you have, you know, like 10 or 15, which is I think what we have on Goldcrest. I think I can prove it here. If you pull up here, we go to our animals page. The next animal will be in 10 hours and 3 minutes. I think on Goldcrest, because we only had like 15 cows, this number was like 50 or 60 hours or something like that. And I doubt very seriously if Growth Manager has anything to do with the animal side of things. I'm getting a pretty solid 60 frames on this map. There is the stuttering that you're seeing, I think, is probably my autosave that I think kicks in every 5 minutes or something like that, and when it does, it causes the map to stutter just a little bit. I'm not a big, I don't lose a lot of sleep over frames. If I get, in a game like this, if I get, you know, well, for the most part in Farm Sim, I get a solid 60. But, you know, I've come from that, obviously from the farming sim, from the flight sim world side of things. That was my game of choice for many years. And, you know, FS9 and FS6 and P3D, you're never gonna get 60 frames out of those titles. It's just not gonna happen, especially when you pile on PMDG this or PMDG that. You know, you might do it with a default Cessna or something like that. You might get, you know, pretty good frames, but you're not going to get that with a PMDG type aircraft. And that's even with my 6 gig 980 Ti. But I'm running Orbix, you know, this and that, and I've got pretty much all the North American airport sceneries through either FS Dream Team or Flight Beam or those titles. That field was pretty quick work. I will most likely well, at least I think I will do less off-camera work than what I have done in maybe in previous videos that you've watched of mine. We'll just have to kind of see. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to bore you with the same sort of the same mundane tasks each time. Okay, so that was field number 28. I think we want to maybe jump over to field number 38, which is right beside us, but I don't know how to get over there. Let's take a look and see if this road takes us down there. I'm still learning my way around the map. But I think what I want to do is go ahead and wrap this session up. And then, yeah, that takes us into the logging area, and I can't see anything like that. So let's drive down. Maybe the entrance is over here. Try to keep the immersion high by not driving through the fence. What do we have here? Oh, we've got that kind of a creek, a river runs through it. I know I'm breaking the immersion here. We probably wouldn't want to be scraping our cab of our tractor going under those low limbs. But anyway, I think what I want to do is say, call this one a wrap, this video a wrap. And as I was saying, I think I want to, I'm going to do some off-camera stuff just because, there's times that I just, don't feel like narrating. Maybe I don't feel like talking or whatever because I've had a hard day at work. So I will do some off-camera stuff, but I really want to share this with you all on how this ends up working out. And certainly, if it works out well, then I invite you to try it on your virtual farm and see how it works out for you. I think it would add some level of immersion and realism by planting different crops at different times of the year, because that's a little more realistic than just doing the same stuff over and over and over again. So anyway, thanks for watching. We're almost at the hour mark, and I like to keep my videos under an hour. So thanks for watching, and please come again soon. Please like the video if it's something that you're so inclined to do, and also please subscribe to my channel if you also have not already done so, because that helps me, kind of tells me that I'm doing things right and that you're interested in doing it and watching more videos, and I look forward to bringing you more videos. So thank you for watching, and have a very good evening. We're approaching a weekend. I think you'll probably see this on Friday, the 18th of November. So have a wonderful weekend. Thanksgiving is almost here for those of us in the U.S., and that's a great time to spend with family and friends and watch a little football, eat some turkey, eat more than our share of cake and pie, and enjoy life. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you all, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.